All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, just a couple minutes after the closure of the Dan Campbell presser for today. A lot of information to unpack, and we're going to start with the biggest headline on it. Earlier this week, I believe it was Tuesday. Don't ask me to confirm that. I don't have it in front of me. I did talk to several sources after hearing from a gajillion of you guys what's going on with Sam Laporta. I talked about it last week, I think on Saturday and Sunday. I didn't want to go on air until I had confirmation of it from enough people that I trusted to feel comfortable with it. Well, on Tuesday, I got on the mic with the Duke crew and talked to y'all. It did sound like Sam Laporta had a certain injury with his back. Yes, it had to do with a slight displacement, of one of his vertebrae and a crack in the vertebrae. I don't know the degree of the damage to the vertebrae or the crack, just enough that the Lions and whoever was working on the training staff, obviously medical professionals, they wanted to get a second and third, and I'm told multiple opinions on it before they made any kind of determination what to do with Sam Laporta. I was also told that the injury extended to one of the discs. I don't know if it was the left or right. I didn't get that information. But Dan Campbell did confirm just minutes ago, Laporta went underneath a medical procedure, did not specifically say it was for any portion of his back, just that it was on his back. So what it is, again, I can only go with my sources. My sources say it was part of a spine procedure on his back, something to do with a vertebrae that was A, displaced, B, had a crack in it, and C, had to deal with something happened to one of his discs. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me. I've also confirmed from many people when I went on air with that report, the time frame expected from a return could be anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks. It does sound like, per Dan Campbell at the presser today, they're not anticipating him to come back this year. He did say, as far as long-term recovery, playing career, Sam Laporta is going to be okay. Let's all start with that, because at the end of the day, this is a guy who's got to walk. He's got to live, breathe, live a life, even if, whatever happens with football. It sounds like his football career is not in jeopardy. That's a great thing. If you've ever messed up your back, whether it be your spine, whether it be a disc, you understand just how limited everything in life now becomes. The fact that Mcdc at least confirmed he's going to be fine going forward, but we don't know when he's going to be back. That's a big win for the Lions, for Laporta, and all involved. Getting to some positive news after the Sam Laporta conversation, we do know DJ Reed, he could be back this week, trending that way. My anticipation is now based on MCDC's comments. Again, this is not confirmed. It's my anticipation. MCDC, I think, is more or less leaning towards having him play against Green Bay. Asked about Kirby Joseph, MCDC gave real good news. We've been talking about it for a while. There's been speculation he would have surgery on that PCL to try to help alleviate the swelling, just speed up the recovery. Doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It does sound like Kirby Joseph is fairly close to returning. Will it be this week? Will it be Green Bay? I don't know, but I would anticipate, and I'll throw this out there, my opinion, doesn't have to be your opinion, somewhere in the next 3 games, Kirby Joseph's back. We also know that it sounds like Brian Branch is doing pretty well. Marcus Davenport is about ready to come back. Whether it's this week, Green Bay, I don't know, just that he's real close. Terrion Arnold sounds like he's getting close. So other than the Sam Laporta injury update, I think we can all agree it's fairly positive Pete news regarding the Detroit Lions and the health. But the loss of Sam Laporta, since I know most people are going to fixate on that, it's a massive one for this offense. In my view, rewatching how the Philadelphia Eagles played defense, they had no respect for any of the tight ends we put on the field or any of those packages. You could see how the linebackers don't drop, or did not drop, I should say, as deep as they normally do. They crowd the line more. They weren't worried about too many people hurting them in that regards. So the Lions are this can be a test of Dan Campbell and the entire offensive coaching staff. You're going to have to replicate Sam Laporta and his abilities to affect the defensive coverage in the aggregate. Does this mean that Jackson Meeks is going to get a big, more of a run? Tesla, Khalif Raymond, maybe two backfields where maybe use Gibbs in some sort of, flank out receiver, angle cuts inside, drawing the backers. There's a lot of things you can do from an X and O standpoint. I'm not going to make this a 3-hour episode to break down the X and O's about what I would do, but I think the Lions are going to have to, address this sooner versus later. Otherwise, what the Eagles did with their backers, overcrowding the line. Again, not biting on any kind of play action, pass action, just saying, hey, the defensive line is good enough to shut you down. If they can't on the way to the quarterback, the running backs will get the running back and pick up anybody. They didn't have any kind of respect for the Lions passing attack in that regards out of the flank position, tight end position. Where the Lions go from here, the good thing is they've now had basically 2 weeks to prepare for life after Sam Laporta. I did mention this, I think, when we did the piece earlier this week. If it was me, I would let him be out all season long. It's just back situations are too too easy to re-aggravate whatever the injury was. And again, nothing has officially been confirmed. But I think if you watch Mcdc, more or less confirms the degree of this injury. We reported earlier this week on Lions Talk Live. And shout out to Lauren from Michigan Panther Pride and now Michigan Sports Network, Huddle, etc. He did also reach out to me regarding that story. All right, let's get over to the Duke Crew comments section real quick, see what you guys have to say, and then I got to get back to work and get ready to coach myself. Doug, but you're, a YouTube guy. I get it, man. I'm not sure why the reporting community, the sports community, if you do YouTube, somehow you don't know anything. It just, before I did YouTube, you guys know I did media for different outlets. Everybody just didn't act this way, but now it is this way. And people, hey, I think everybody just wants to try to throw shade at somebody and say, hey, see, I knew something. This guy didn't know anything. I don't know, man. Pick everybody up. We're all here for the same reason. We want to cheer on the Lions. We want to have fun. We want to be fans. Just, cheer on whoever you want to cheer on. I don't know. Jesslyn, what was about to say the same thing, Doug? I'll go with that. Steve Rogers. So what happened to Sam? Great question. If you didn't catch it earlier this week. So what I was told, and the video has come out, I think literally later the same day I did the news report with you guys, and the Duke Crew did the news report. Dr. Leo or something like that, Jimmy something or other, put out something where he broke down. He thought he found the injury to St. Brown, but also the 2 injuries to Sam Laporta. The first one, I believe, I don't have the notes in front of me, happens in the third quarter. He takes a hit in the back, probably affects the spine at that point, maybe even slightly displaced that vertebrae. But because of the strength of Sam Laporta, his youth, and all the adrenaline most athletes get in the game, probably ultimately didn't pay much attention to it. Then you can see on another play later in the game, I believe he's blocking and, he's helping push somebody forward. Multiple people hit him trying to get to the play. And then there's, it wasn't done intentionally, in my opinion. A Commanders guy just comes up and blasts Sam Laporta in the back. And again, I don't think it's done intentionally. The helmet crushes his back, hits him pretty square in the spine. And that was probably the coup de grace. If the vertebrae was slightly displaced before, probably displaced it more now, cracked the vertebrae, and that probably, because of all those moving parts, led to the issue with the disc. Again, the Lions themselves haven't confirmed this. This is just from people I chat with, so take it all, of course, like anything you find online, with a grain of salt. Michael, what do you got? Laporta probably is done for the season. One pride. It does seem that way. And again, I can only speak for my own preferences. I would sit him down the rest of the year. He's got, 3 months left in this season. Plus, he got the off season. Rest that thing up. And I would assume by the start of training camp next year, he'd be, 100% again. K-Heat, that's a huge loss for us. Takes away one of Goff's bigger targets. Praying for Laporta, 100%. Both ways on that. It's huge loss to the offense. Huge loss to Goff. And it's a big injury. Back injuries are nothing to be trifled with. Charles, what do you got? Son of a gun. I'll go with that. That hurts a little time to get Tesla acquainted. Yeah, and I do think you're going to probably see more of him, Meeks, and 2 backfields. Again, I would do that if it was me from a schematic standpoint, flanking out one of them to draw a linebacker away and then basically use them as the tight end in pass routes. Jedi Sith, Kirby, and Reed are close to returning. Yeah, that's part of the positive news, along with Davenport, along with Kirby Joseph. Just so, what did he hurt? I believe it's going to be proven to be at some point a disc in his back, along with part of his spine as far as the vertebrae on the spine. Michael, next guy up. Agreed with that. String theory. We expect our defense to beat their offense, and we expect our offense to beat their defense. Got it. Exclamation point. I'll go with that 100%. Lauren, Brock, right time. I like the way you're thinking, my friend. Super Sailor, what do you got? Outlaw, hello, and hello to you too. How you doing today? Dolo Dynamite, go sign Zach Ertz. I wonder if they'll do that. That might not be a bad move. Pierce isn't Ertz with the Commanders. That's what I thought, but I didn't know if maybe I missed it where he got released. So maybe somebody else is available, though. Bo Booth, I got to get used to saying that. I'm not surprised, disappointed, but not surprised. Agreed. I just want him to be hurt. Cut. He was cut. Okay, then yeah, you probably want to Dolo. Then you probably do want to, if your Lions look at acquiring him. Brandon Jones just makes me angry. Can someone buy me some food, please? Chime. All right, we'll see if they can. Dolo Dynamite. Ertz been cut. Let's see if they get him. Good afternoon. Back at you, Jonathan. Walt Marks. This is a bummer. It is a bummer. Pierce. When did he get cut? I just searched and couldn't find reporting. I don't know about that. Dolo, as long as Laporta good, I'm happy. Yeah, I think long-term, MCDC did say that he should be fine long-term. Bo, I can confirm back injuries stink. Yeah, it does indeed. Henry Moore, thanks for your information. Update, Coach. Anytime, my friend. Good to see him. Hey, Jay Bricks, what do you got? I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Dang, bro, as soon as we get our defense up to par, the offense takes a step back. I really hate being a Lions fan sometimes. I don't think the curse is over. Let's hope it is, though, man. But you know what? You got to go to the next game. I get it, man. Injuries stink. No fun for the injured person, the fandom, the coaching staff, the whole shebang. Mr. Naps, what do you got? We definitely still have been praying more and talk less unto God Almighty in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. For all those teams, players, for injuries in the NFL, praying. Yeah, 100% praying for them. All get healthy. String Theory, St. Brown, Tesla, JMO, drop passes. Is anyone calling to replace them? Let's hope not, man. Let's hope not. Calmer minds, right, String? Courtney, let Sam heal completely. Exclamation points. I agree with that. Our defense will carry the day. I like the way you're thinking. Riley O'Brien, Dan Thornton, resume speaks for itself. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but I guess it points on your point of view. And if I wrote it in crayon or not that day, who knows? Riley O'Brien, I love Lions Talk Live. Appreciate all of you, 100%. You got to appreciate the Duke Crew, 100%. Without the Duke Crew, there wouldn't be Lions Talk Live. 89, Dr. Funk. That makes sense for him to be down for the year. Don't mess with that stuff. I agree with that fully. It does seem like that's where they're leaning. Troy Martin, Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. One pride. I like it. Like indeed. Marcus, is this career ending? It doesn't sound that way. The people I chatted with didn't seem to have that viewpoint. I guess I can at least say that. And from what MCDC said, Marcus, today in the presser, long-term, he's going to be okay. So I'm going to believe all parties involved. They know more, right? Let's see, Courtney. So this year, the defense wins the Super Bowl. Next year, the offense wins the Super Bowl. That's positive Pete thinking. Jim, Ertz has been on waivers for about a week. Okay. Hippo Power, man, another person I haven't seen in a long time. Have y'all forgotten how Brock was breaking big ones off? Goff, gotta find him. Yes, indeed. Marcus, can I get a Florida Evans? Dang. I'll go with that. Let's see. Rip, we'll get by, no worries. I like it and like it indeed. And every week that goes by, I'm just assuming the offensive staff of the Lions will incorporate other things to try to, replicate Sam Laporta in the aggregate. That's not going to be easy, but they'll do it. All right, guys, I got to get back to work and coaching duties, all that kind of fun stuff. If there is breaking news later today, I'll have to get it to you later today. But otherwise, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. And I'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.